Stevie Nicks podcast, where we discuss all things Stevie. I'm Lesley.
I'm Melinda, and today we have a Stevie Nicks, Don Henley doubleheader commentary. The Million Ladies Scent of Stevie Nicks, and Stevie Nicks and Sheryl Crow take on Nancy Sinatra in an epic catfight in the White House.
Hey, Melinda.
Hey, Lesley.
What is your Stevie status this week?
Moonlight.
Oh.
Yeah, the vampire song. Because I am completely obsessed with What We Do in the Shadows.
The TV series or the movie?
Well, both. I got into
Okay.
that one a couple of years ago and owned it on DVD and watched it obsessively. And then the series came out and I finally got around to watching both seasons, and it's fucking hilarious. Even to the extent I've made up plots in my mind of future episodes, one of which actually involves Stevie Nicks as a guest star /
Oh, that'd be amazing.
captive in their house. So
Oh man, that would be amazing.
That'd be a great episode. Yeah. What about you?
I know this is a Stevie Nicks podcast, but I love that show so much. As gay as I am, the guy who plays, oh my God, and I can't remember the character's name at the moment. Yes, the one without the girlfriend.
Yeah, right. The Persian Frank Zappa. Yes.
Such a crush on that guy.
He is my favorite.
I follow him on Instagram.
I love him too. I'm gay too.
Yeah.
I love him.
Yeah.
He's adorable to me.
Oh my God.
So cute.
Adorable. It's so funny.
And so hilarious.
Yes, that's a great show.
I think it's hilarious that we both think the same thing about him. I mean, that's really weird that we're agreeing on this, and also Stevie Nicks.
Yeah. Is there a cross between Stevie Nicks fans and What We Do in the Shadows?
I bet there has to be. There just has to be.
We're going to have to post a picture of Nandor on
Put little hearts around
our Twitter and Instagram accounts. Yes. Let's ask Stevie what she thinks.
Yes. Okay. Consider it done. Consider it done.
You have something really awesome for us this week.
Thank you.
For anyone who just started listening, we're kind of going through all Stevie Nicks songs, albums and songs, and talking about them. And we've been going through Belladonna forever, it seems.
It all started.
We could probably speed it up a bit.
Yes, indeed, we did speed it up a little bit, because this time
we probably should.
Yeah, but this time I took two songs from the album. Normally we go song by song, like you're listening to it on in a sequential manner. I'm not going to date it with technological stuff like CDs or records. But anyway, I took two songs that she recorded with Don Henley on the album. Everybody knows Leather and Lace, but actually he sings back up on the Highwayman, which is the last song on the album. Today, we'll be talking about two Belladonna tracks for the price of one commentary, Leather and Lace and the Highwayman. The two songs, when taken back to back, present an interesting contrast between what a love affair could be and what it actually is, from the standpoint of a woman navigating the man's world of rock and roll. That woman, of course, being one Stevie Nicks. Stevie Nicks' love affairs are, for better or worse, an integral element of her music, and has been from pretty much day one. Her teenage romance with guitarist Lindsey Buckingham took root as a musical partnership that bloomed into the explosive He Said, She Said rock opera known worldwide as Fleetwood Mac's Rumors album. And from that day forward, the die was cast for Stevie fans, long after her breakup with Buckingham. Any Stevie song could easily be heard as a sonic snapshot of an actual love affair or a pastiche portrait of various suitors, always accompanied by the question, who is Stevie singing about this time? In their quest to marry words and melodies, songwriters utilize various tools. Some play guitars, others play keyboards or bass. Stevie Nicks plays love affairs. And Stevie Nicks has had a lot of love affairs. One of the most famous involved Don Henley, whom Stevie met when Fleetwood Mac was on tour with Henley's band, the Eagles. It was a whirlwind romance complete with Learjet rendezvous at luxury hotels. They also workshopped together as songwriters, with Henley taking the role of the critic and taskmaster. He pushed Stevie to hear her songs with an objective ear, sometimes telling her that what she had written was not yet good enough and urging her to get back to work. Leather and Lace was a product of Don Henley's songwriting boot camp. Stevie had originally written the song for country star Waylon Jennings and his wife Jessie Coulter, but when the couple broke up, Stevie swooped in to reclaim it, refusing to give it back even after the two had reunited. The rest is proverbial history. Leather and Lace became the second single off the Belladonna album, following her duet with Tom Petty, Stop Dragging My Heart Around. Leather and Lace is a gentle balm, soothing the welts left by the ferocious fuck you of the Petty duet. Its delicate beauty is undeniable, but folded within the musical origami is an exploration of male and female energies and how they contrast in their quest for harmony. The song begins with the convergence of the gentle chime of keyboards and a down-homey acoustic guitar, instrumental stand-ins for the ethereal female lead and the desperado who stole her heart. Our heroine is in a contemplative mood, musing, "Is love so fragile and the heart so hollow? Shatter with words impossible to follow." She confronts her man with the truth about herself, disabusing him of his illusion of her as a damsel in distress. "I have my own life, and I am stronger than you know." Our hero, voiced by Henley, admits that he, too, is a different person behind his tough facade. "Sometimes I'm a strong man, sometimes cold and scared, and sometimes I cry." Paired with the opening lyric about the fragility of love, these confessions tell the truth about gender roles, how in living up to the expectations placed upon them by society, men and women deceive one another. Predicated upon this mandatory dishonesty, the union of male and female is a delicate alliance, doomed to shatter on impact when one or both parties fail to adhere to their respective stereotypes. The song ultimately rejects these stereotypes and their outward trappings, calling for a mutual surrender in which the couple stop hiding behind societal expectations of femininity and masculinity. "Give to me your leather," demands the heroine. "Take from me my lace." Symbolically stripped of their unrealistic and oppressive gender roles, the would-be damsel and faux desperado achieve true intimacy. The honesty and trust proposed by Leather and Lace is a romantic ideal that would be difficult for any couple to achieve, let alone a rock and roll power couple at the height of their popularity. Although the song was written for a different couple, its most likely inspiration comes from Stevie's relationship with Don Henley. Beyond the obvious signpost of Henley's presence in the song, the lyric, "When I walked into your house, I knew I'd never want to leave," strikes me as a tip-off. The image of the house is a throwback to a lyric from the song Sarah, which Stevie wrote for Fleetwood Mac's album Tusk, and has been acknowledged to varying degrees by both she and Henley to have been written about their romance. "When you build your house, call me home," Stevie sings in Sarah, an invitation that sadly neither party ended up taking. The Highwayman, Stevie's second collaboration with Henley on the Belladonna album, is a more realistic depiction of the struggles she faced as a woman seeking connection in the man's world of rock. Given that this song sounds like a dark fairy tale in the spirit of Nathaniel Hawthorne or Edgar Allan Poe, describing it as realistic might seem like a bit of a stretch, but hear me out. Accompanied by simple arpeggiated notes as played by Waddy Wachtel on guitar, Stevie tells the tale of the highwayman, the one who comes and goes, and only the highway woman keeps up with the likes of those. Theirs is a romance complicated by the conflict of egos, taking shape as a horse race into the night. This is not the first time Stevie has used competition as an analogy for her romantic struggles. Rolling the tape as far back as her Buckingham Nicks days in 1974, we hear Stevie taking flight after her man in Long Distance Winter, setting up a paradigm in which love is not an honest compromise like the one celebrated in Leather and Lace, but a battle for dominance. It was a race she conceded long ago. "You're too fast," she tells her man. "You're the winner." Stevie's return to this analogy in 1981 is telling. The source material for her songs being love affairs with men who both collaborate and compete with her for the spotlight. The odds are not in her favor, and she seems to have known it all along. As she chases beneath the moon on her dragonfly horse in The Highwayman, Stevie ponders her motives for taking this man as a challenge. She wonders, is this real, or does she just want to be queen? A lyric that cuts to the core of her romance with Henley, the alpha eagle, a man who was both a collaborator and a competitor. Their union, had it survived, would have positioned them as the power couple of sweet California rock. But with both lovers pitted against their feelings as much as each other, it was simply not meant to be. The Highwayman is framed as a dream about a life already lived before and eyes welled with tears. It's a life that continues from the Buckingham Nicks days to the Belladonna era. Only this time around, an older and wiser Stevie recognizes the futility of the races she's run, but ever the romantic cannot resist their pull. Today, and still today, they ride. Will they ever win? He the glory, she the love, and still they try again.
Melinda, that was great.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was really good. That was beautiful. Some beautiful language in
Thank
there.
you. Thank you. I
Yeah.
was an English major, and so
Yeah, you're a
yeah.
write
Thank you.
Yeah. One of the things that I want to talk about Leather and Lace for a second. I don't know if this was the person if it was a reflection on the person that I knew, or this is something that other people think about that song. But some people, or at least this one person that I know, took "Give to Me Your Leather, Take from Me My Lace" as sort of like a
I knew you were
BDSM
going to
sort of
say
thing.
that. I knew it.
And that's probably the wrong words for
Oh
now. I'm not
yeah,
sure what
I
the
know.
latest languages around that.
Oh man, yeah, right. I know what you mean.
Yeah, because of the language where she says, and you spun it a different way. I like the way you talked about gender and that, but the way that she says, I give or no,
Give to me your
what is
leather,
she?
take my
Yes.
lace. Take.
Yeah, like you give me this, and then you take this
I
from me.
know.
You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah.
Like I went. So yeah, I don't know. I never thought of that at all until someone brought it up.
For me, I saw this as kind of a mutual surrender thing in a way. I mean, but I don't know. It's kind of weird because it does still, in its way, kind of reinforce the gender stereotypes. I mean, the male is only giving away power. A woman is never going to take it from him.
Mm-hmm.
And then for female, things are traditionally taken from us, you know? So, I mean, in a weird way that I've twisted with my own waste of education with my English, I can see it as just kind of an ironic reinforcement of the stuff that she's
Mm-hmm.
trying to reject. So who knows? I mean, it is an interesting take, though, pretty freaking kinky. You hang out with a rough crowd, Lesley.
The Highwayman is probably definitely one of my favorite songs on that album.
Actually, the Highwayman is you're gonna die. It's my favorite song from the album.
Yeah,
Totally love it, and
really.
I love it for English major reasons. I hear the song as uh, a descendant of Hawthorne, like the Headless Horseman of Sleepy Hollow. I feel it as a descendant of Edgar Allan Poe, even
Mm-hmm.
the nightmarish, madman that is irresistible.
Mm-hmm.
All of that. I get a lot of that good down home American Gothic from this song. So
Mm.
I never get, it's my favorite. So
And it is a perfect ending to any album, but especially that album.
yeah, she just really knocked it out of the park with this with the Belladonna album, and I'm really glad we started with this. Remember, we were kicking around doing some
Yeah.
Fleetwood Mac stuff at first, and we were like, no, let's just stick to Belladonna. It was a sound decision.
So that was great. Thanks, Melinda.
Thank you.
us all the way back to Christmas 2020, which was like a month ago. I got a lot of Stevie related gifts in the mail, and I kept sending pictures of them to you, Melinda, saying, "Did you send me this?" Because it would just be like coming from some other place, like a third party, and I had no idea where it was coming from, and it kept being, Melinda, you kept being like, "Nope, nope, nope." So I really had to track down.
I'm like, I looked at it and I'm like,
a
how
lot of them.
dare you ask me if I sent you
Yeah.
garbage? I'd be like, no, not me.
No, everything was
No,
good.
I'm totally kidding. I'm being a jerk.
But you did actually send me, this is something I haven't seen yet. Well, you sent me two things, but one of them was a air freshener, a Stevie Nicks air
For your
freshener.
car.
Yeah. And the thing is when I first got it, I opened it up and, I smelled a little bit and I was like, oh, okay. And then I just sort of kept them there on the counter. And then I came back like a few days later and I opened it up and smelled it again. Oh, yeah, sorry. There's 2 air fresheners that come with it. And so I came back and I smelled it again and I couldn't smell it. And that is a main sign of COVID. So I flipped out. My heart just started pounding.
Oh, shit, really?
Yeah. So I opened it because my throat is a little sore anyway. It was sore
So it
anyway.
started slowly closing and you couldn't breathe?
Yeah, the whole world was just like closing in on me. I mean, two days before it had a pretty strong scent. So I ran to the refrigerator and opened it and like looked for like the A1 sauce. This heavy smell, and smelled it, and I could smell that. So I'm just like, well, that's kind of weird that it lost scent that fast, but okay, well, whatever it did. And then I call you or talk to you like a couple days later, and you mentioned, oh yeah, that's pretty cool. I sent you one scented and one unscented. I was like, you jerk. Just you can't do that during COVID.
It was all a complete accident. I mean, I would not have done that on purpose, but that I did it anyway, and still, without any malice, that I can enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's like very funny.
Yeah.
And but I didn't actually do it. If I actually did that, I would feel like ha 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 at first, and then I would feel really bad right away. And so I couldn't do that. But yeah, hey, it turned out really funny, and so.
So I got a pretty cool air freshener and a pretty big scare.
Yeah. Merry Halloween to you, Lesley.
Yes,
and April Fools to go.
Yes.
You're so welcome. Well, the whole idea of giving you the two was that one was called, I think, Million Lady, something like that. That scent was called Million Lady. I picked it out specifically because I'm like,
it was called what?
Million Lady.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Check it out in the packaging if you still have it. And I'm like, what the hell does a Million Lady smell like? And I was hoping you could tell me what it smelled like. And then I thought, you know what? That might not smell very good. And I don't expect Lesley to be driving around Portland smelling like a million ladies. That could leave a bad impression. So I gave you an unscented one so you could still have the cool looking thing hanging off your mirror. So sorry it went so horribly awry.
That's okay. It's a very fun thing to have. So thank you.
So I saw recently in the news, because as you and I highly recommend to all witches out there, keep the Stevie alerts coming from Google. You can manipulate things a certain kind of way and only hear about Stevie Nicks, which is what I do. Highly recommend that. But anyway, I got a story, and maybe you've seen it too, Lesley.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody apparently exhumed Nancy Sinatra. And when Nancy Sinatra came back from the...
She's still alive.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought that maybe the reanimated corpse of Nancy Sinatra came forward to complain about Stevie Nicks and Sheryl Crow. Have you seen that story?
She complained. Oh, that's right. She did complain about Sheryl Crow too. Yes, I did see this story, and and maybe because I'm not. So, do you want to tell the story?
No, I started it. You take it out of the park, Lesley. Do it.
So Nancy Sinatra was at an event at the White House during Bill Clinton's presidency, and she saw Sheryl Crow and Stevie Nicks there. and wanted to go up and talk to them.
Yeah. Apparently they were introduced, and Stevie Nicks and Sheryl Crow apparently were not interested in interacting with Nancy Sinatra any
Yeah.
further.
Yeah, she said she made an effort to shake hands.
Yeah, they shook
I'm
hands.
not sure what that is, but that they weren't interested. So I'm not sure
I
what
think they were
what that turned out to
introduced. I think
be.
that what when I'm playing it in my mind, like the Zapruder film of the Kennedy assassination, and here's Nancy Sinatra coming in for the handshake, and Stevie Nicks rolling her eyes and Sheryl Crow sneering, and their hands touch and it's frozen ice. And then, of course, Nancy Sinatra fades into irrelevance, only to come back later to complain about it.
I don't think either of us are like quite old enough to
Give a
know the
damn
full width and
about
breadth of Nancy
Nancy
Sinatra's
Sinatra?
life. Yeah, but all I know is probably what you know is that these boots are made for walking.
That's it.
Yeah, so I mean I don't know why you would ever be rude to anyone, but who knows? Plus, sometimes you just don't
Whatever.
notice anything. Like Stevie can't see most of the time anyway. Like
I'm
she has
sure
really
she was
bad
wearing
vision.
those
So
really dark glasses and,
yeah,
she's had a couple, bottles of Stoli or something, and
not at that time.
how do you know? She's
I
running
guess
with
you don't.
Sheryl Crow at this point. Things
Oh
get
please, Cheryl
crazy.
Crow's not.
Come She's like,
Cheryl Crow probably doesn't even drink.
well, this was like in 2000 before,
Yeah.
I mean, everybody got old really quick, and this was before then.
Yeah. Right. But yeah, anyway, I just thought like, okay, yeah, you weren't acknowledged by Stevie Nicks. Stevie Nicks probably wouldn't acknowledge me either. It's
She's
just,
not gonna
it's
acknowledge
just
anybody, but her
yeah,
record producer, clearly. I mean,
yeah,
and Sheryl Crow was there. Nobody else even had to be there. Or, okay, Bill Clinton, of course,
yeah.
but that's about it. She was only there, whatever. I mean, I think it's kind of sad. And Nancy, come on, be a big girl. I looked her up
Yeah.
and she's 80 years old. So it's time to put on the big
Oh,
girl
she's in the
pants.
let's complain about everything phase of life. I understand.
Ah,
No need to say anymore. Everything hurts.
that's exactly what I was going to say. Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
anyway, yeah. So I'm so sorry. The sound of the tiniest violin is being played for you right now, Nancy
Yes.
Sinatra.
I want to introduce a new segment. We're not going to do it now, but we will do it in the future. It's something that I wish someone would do for me, and I'm going to do it for all of you. And that is, I'm reading it so you don't have to. I am going to go through all the books that are Stevie adjacent, like the book written by Joe Walsh's girlfriend or the book written by Lindsey Buckingham's girlfriend, ex-girlfriends,
This is
or
funny to me.
ex-wives, I think in one
It
case.
should be like its own genre. The girlfriends of Stevie Nicks's ex-boyfriends.
Yeah, right. To write books.
Yeah, I think this could
Yeah.
be like, this would actually bring me back for my doctorate, actually. If you could find like 2 more of those, totally write a doctorate on that.
I can.
Mm.
There are a lot of adjacent books where Stevie Nicks is mentioned. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read them. I am going to write down just all the Stevie mentions, and then I'm going to come on here and let you know what they are.
Awesome.
That way you don't have to read some book about Joe Walsh and his girlfriend.
Okay. Yeah, and thank you already for that.
Yeah, you're welcome. Ahead of time.
Awesome. Well, I think we've pretty much covered everything that we set out to do
Yep.
today, I think.
Thanks for listening.
Goodbye, witches. It's been a Stevie Nicks podcast.
You can find us on Twitter at Hello Witches Pod and on Instagram at Hello Witches Podcast.